6:30, Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, 6:30 p.m. at the McDonald Brown Conference Room. The Town of West Bridgewater Conservation Commission is now open. And I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes for April 16th.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We'll have 38 United Drive, amended order of conditions.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Ian Campbell, Level Design Group, on behalf of the applicant. So we discussed 38 United Drive about a month and a half ago. Had, I think, a fruitful discussion on it. And the commission wanted to hear back from the planning board as well as the review engineer.
Dan, you cut out. I'm not sure you have bad connection.
Sorry about that.
That's
Both,
okay.
Site plan and special permit were issued last week for this project and the following project, 40 United Drive.
Okay, and I can report back that I have had the last report from the 53G on 38 United Drive. Everything has been met. All the plans are in, so I'm okay closing this one off and issuing all the permits.
Okay. So, you got any questions?
So you need a motion to close.
So I entertain a motion to close.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we can actually do these all as a group, but you'll need to issue a general stormwater permit and a standard order of conditions.
Okay, so I entertain a motion for a general
General stormwater
general
permit
stormwater permit
and the standard order of
and the
conditions.
standard order of conditions.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
And you'll need to issue a grant of waiver for work within the 50-foot.
And entertain a motion to grant a waiver to work in the 50.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And
All right,
Thank
Dan,
you.
we got that all put together and the amended order's done.
I appreciate that.
And I will tell you, I am waiting for Pat's last report on 40 United Drive. I know the planning boards, I've seen that, and they're okay with everything. I just don't have the stormwater from him.
Okay. If the commission would move to approve it based upon his report, so compliance or a letter from him for compliance, I'd be happy to move forward.
I'm okay with that. I have everything else. I mean, it's just the final sign off. They've done their last round. And I know the planning board has seen it all and okayed it all. We just don't have the final in-house. So we could approve everything pending,
depending on the
right,
signing.
the final sign
But
off.
you've seen it. Yeah. You've
So-
seen it.
The only thing I wanted to tell you about 40 is the reason that we made the changes, and I think I introduced this briefly last time. The only changes we made on 40, we kept the building the same size, we kept the loading, the automotive parking, things of that nature. But we finally received an answer in February from Natural Heritage as to what they wanted. So what we did, Natural Heritage on the western side of the property wanted a 250-foot corridor from the property line to disturbance. So we moved everything east towards 38 United Drive. By moving it east, we were able to do a little bit more above ground drainage on the western side of the building, maintaining the vernal pool that's on that side. And realistically, I think it's ultimately a better project. It's a little bit more consolidated, but that's the reason for it.
Okay. Sounds
So-
good. So we just continue.
That being said, I mean, I'm fine with closing it all out and then just
Close
pending the final approval, and we can close it all. And
Don't need to continue anything.
no, I don't think we'll have to at this point. Planning board signed off on it, and they're okay with everything.
Okay,
Um,
so I'll just entertain a motion to close pending on the signature and everything will be all set.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So again, we'll need to issue a standard order of conditions and a stormwater permit.
So I entertain a motion to issue a standard order of conditions and a stormwater management permit.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And there will be a 50-foot waiver just in the back.
Okay, entertain a motion to issue the 50-foot waiver for work.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Good. All set.
All right.
Again,
Think,
thank you very much.
I think
We
we've seen
appreciate
the
it.
end of United Drive
Look forward.
projects. So, great.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you
night.
for thank you for explaining
good
that
night.
a little bit more. Appreciate it.
All right. So next one,
We have
Zero Crescent.
Zero Crescent Street has sent in a request to continue to June 4th. So we just need a motion.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion for for Zero Crescent Street to continue to June 4th.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's all set.
And 109 Spring Street has also asked for a continuance to June 4th.
Okay, so anything on that? That
I think part of it is the fact that they're having to relook at the engineering because we did not grant the waiver for the 50-foot. So by doing that, the road will have to be kicked out and
Okay,
around.
so-
So it may
okay.
shift the road, so the lots may not work on the backside.
So they're gonna have to stick with that 50-foot.
Right.
Stay away from it.
Right.
Okay, it's good. All right, so I'll entertain a motion to continue to June 4th.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then we got some administration for violations.
All right, so I am going to see how if I can get this. Bear with me. I'm trying something new on the violations. We'll see how it works and how you guys. So I'm sending out the violation letters, and this one on Spring Street was for stormwater only. There was, town had to go out and survey some stormwater basins, and when they did, they found that 449 Spring Street's sump pump was draining into the catch basin, which under MS4 guidelines, we can't allow. So I just sent an enforcement letter stating that they had to remove the sump pump and either put in a dry well or figure out a way to deal with the water on their own property, and they can't put it into the town's storm system.
Yeah, drainage, yeah.
Tim, do they know about this already? And the letter is a formal.
A lot of people don't know that the stormwater bylaw, what it actually entails. And so that's why it's not fines or anything like that. It's just a notification that they have to come up to code. They should have it either into their septic system or into a dry well, somewhere on their property.
So,
I guess that wasn't my question. Has somebody personally talked with them?
No, I send a letter out and telling them if they have any questions to contact me, and then I can explain to them what it is or why it is. But
Okay, so they have no clue.
they had
they're
no clue that they were
they're in
violating. This
violation.
probably's been there maybe even before they bought the house. And the new homeowner buys it and it's just already there.
okay, so now I have another question is, so the people with pools and everything like that, technically, when they go to drain some of the water out of the pools for the end of the season, they either let it go down the street or do the same thing, put it in the stormwater
If
basin.
it is not chemically treated, it can be drained into the stormwater system. That's an allowed use because it's a once a year event. It's not
Okay.
continue,
Okay.
but it has to not be chemically treated.
But that's
they-
something you gotta
Right,
find
so
out.
if it's pool water that's been sitting and not had chlorination in it for a month, say, before they close it,
Mhm.
it's fine to pump. But if it's fully chlorinated, then there's a problem, and they have to figure out a way to drain it
So,
off. I mean, it can still drain into the system, but they have to let it go across the lawn or a gravel
Okay.
surface or something
and that's
else.
the other thing I was gonna ask about the sub pumps. These people with the sub pumps. What happens if they just put it so they can put it down the driveway, let it go down the driveway and just run down the driveway and down the street? How do you,
If I find them, again, they
about
get a
that?
friendly letter, or if I
Okay.
can see them, or I catch, I mean, depends how I found out about them.
considering it's a thing that happens all the time,
Right.
technically maybe?
There
That's
are
the
some
violation.
properties in town, when the subdivision was built, it was built with sump pumps designed into their into the
Yeah.
stormwater system.
Yep.
Those, we're finding slowly some of them. Hartshorn Street, Goldie Road, that area of town has some designs that way.
Yep.
Some of those haven't been maintained, so the systems have either cracked or broken and the pipes don't function.
Mhm.
And so some of those residents are pumping them out.
The windows,
Right.
thing, yeah.
But if they updated or maintained the system the way it should be, then they'd have a right to pump it into the sewer system.
Okay.
So if we find those, we're trying to fix them and get them to update.
Could you read the letter, please? I wanna hear, what it sounds like. I can't read the whole thing. Could you read it to me?
Oh, okay.
I
So,
wanna hear what it
yep,
sounds like.
so this letter is to inform you that you are non-compliance with the West Bridgewater discharge to the municipal septic stormwater sewer system, MS4, Article 35 of the town bylaw. The current sump pump drain at 449 Spring Street will need to be removed from the municipal storm drain system. Please contact the Conservation Office or see the link below if you have questions, and then I embed a link to the town's website where the stormwater bylaw is. If this is not addressed in a timely manner, the Conservation Commission will be compelled to issue an enforcement order for an illicit discharge into the municipal septic stormwater system. This enforcement order comes with up to a $300 a day fine. If it is not addressed in a timely manner, the town has the right to have the connection removed, and all costs will be billed to you. I used to send them without that, and everybody ignored it.
Yeah.
So by adding that little,
Oh, okay.
I generally get a response fairly quick,
Yep.
because nobody wants an enforcement order with fines.
Okay, so people do just call you.
Most of them just call me right away,
Okay.
and then I haven't been bringing them before you, if they do that.
Oh, okay.
But at this point, I figured these ones just went out, and some of them are serious issues enough that, which, if you let me show you the next ones,
Okay.
I will. Let's see here. So this one falls under stormwater and wetland protection. So 266 Pleasant Street, and the building commissioner also has an enforcement order already issued on this one. Similar thing, and what I've done is I've attached the pictures of the site.
Okay.
So this is the backyard at 266, which used to be all grass, green, and yards. It's a 3-family home that now has a contractor's yard behind it, which is unpermitted and unlicensed, which they've covered more than 5,000 square feet of disturbed areas, so it falls under the stormwater bylaw. There's also, on the back end of it, on DEP's mapping, a wetland, which looks to now be filled. So we've sent out a notice of violation for
This is one we're gonna have to keep an eye on.
Right, so I'm waiting to hear back.
Mm-hmm.
So from going forward, I'm gonna send these out, and I will put them on our agenda to share them. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And if that wetland has been filled in, it will be restored.
Right, I mean, I'm not, it's on DP mapping, doesn't actually, it's very isolated. It may not even have ever been there. I don't remember really seeing something there.
Mm-hmm.
So until we investigate and figure
Mhm.
it out. This is 860 North Main Street, which is the old shopping plaza up along the Brockton line.
Yep.
And so these are
Behind it?
photos of behind it. Everything on the back side of the wooded area is literally the stream that goes behind it in the wetlands. And this is just trash and debris that's being dumped. It's literally in the wetland.
That's something. How?
It looks like there's feral cat house set up or something in there. The mattresses, the old access road that's up along there is all wetlands, and the mattresses are showing up again. So I have sent the owner out a letter. The Board of Health is also addressing this.
For the owner, yeah.
So I believe a dumpster was coming this week, and they're gonna start getting it cleaned up. So,
That's good. And 9 lamppost lane already.
and then 9 Lamppost Lane.
Jeez, brand new.
One of the brand new houses, and I had already met with the owners when they first bought it. If you look at the white markers that are here and here, that's where the wetland do not touch line is. The markers say on it, no disturbance beyond this point. And as you can see, the fill is piled up
Knew that was gonna happen.
right in that area. So I gave them a verbal, it had to be removed by today. I've got to go up there tomorrow and check and see if it has been. And I said, if it isn't, then we will be issuing an enforcement order with fines starting immediately.
What was there? It was just
It was just all woods.
okay. It was just
I mean,
wood.
so
they
they'll-
didn't clear nothing.
It
was
there were some
just-
down trees that they asked if they could clean those up.
Yeah.
And I said, that was fine.
Yeah.
Don't take any stumps out. Don't grind anything. Don't dig anything. And in the enforcement order, I said there will need to be a tree planting replication plan because they're going to have to put something back in that area because whatever's under that fill is not
Not
going to
grow.
live.
No.
And it was vegetated previously.
Okay, it was. Yeah.
When the developer finished it,
Yeah.
the as-built showed that it was all vegetated. And so
I'll stop up by there tomorrow after work on
They-
the way home just for that.
this day I was there, the excavator was still there. So I told him, I said, you've got the excavator equipment here. Get this moved somewhere else other than in the 50-foot.
I mean, it's funny because if you look at it right there, it's like every lot up there. Look how much of a distance you have between those steps.
Right, between
To
the
the post.
steps and there.
There's nothing.
What they're trying to do is they dug all that out to build a retaining wall on the back side of the house.
Yeah, but now put it right there.
And, right, the fill, even if it's temporary, shouldn't have been left there. That was, the markers
That's
say,
what the markers are for.
right,
Yeah.
do not disturb, and there's a recorded easement.
Be honest with you, I'm surprised the markers are still there.
Right, which, that one I have been monitoring because the road hasn't been accepted yet.
Mhm.
So the markers are still on all the properties. And I've talked with a number of the residents.
So I'm thinking maybe later on down the road, if those markers are there, whoever's there buys a house while the markers are there. If those markers get taken down, and we somehow find out that they've been taken down,
Well, what I've been doing with any of these that have orders of conditions, when we issue a certificate of compliance, the markers are an ongoing order of conditions, so they stay even though the certificate's been entered.
Yeah.
So, and the other ones are that we have the right to inspect and check. So,
and if they do,
all of a sudden disappear,
we should have the right to
you
tell
can start
them.
with the fines, send an enforcement order,
Yeah.
and say you're not meeting your order of conditions, which was part of the permitting when the house was built, and they're ongoing, and it's still, the next owner has that at the registry. They're already, the order of condition stays, it just never goes away.
And the markers have to be put back, and until they are put back, we could find until that is.
Right, they're in violation,
Yeah,
and
So-
so if you so wish to,
I
Issue
think that should be
fines.
something because that might help us later on down the road to keep those markers in for future
right,
and for
that,
the people that have been there for for a while.
and that's why I make that an ongoing order of conditions
Mhm.
now, just to make sure that it stays permanently as.
Yeah.
A lot of times they meet it, they're there when the house or the project's finished,
Yeah.
but then they sell it and the next one has it and there's no order of conditions on it because it was
Yes.
already
And
issued
then
off.
they take them down, so we can start all over again right there and start finding and do all that stuff.
Right.
Got to stay there. That's what the reason for it is.
But
Tim,
that's,
thank you for sharing that in that way with the pictures and things. That's very helpful to me.
I mean, if you want, I will send those out as part of the packet ahead of time.
Yeah, because I know that I know there's something going on behind there, but you can't really see until you get pictures like that because if you don't know what's going on, it's good for people, even in the general area of the neighborhood,
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I will say there was 5 Leo Park Drive, had a potential violation. I sent one out. That one I met with the owner of the property on site. We walked it, we looked at it, and the violation wasn't, he was just outside of the 100-foot. And he knew where basically it roughly was. But we walked it and he knows what he can and can't do. And he says, if I do decide to do anything more, I'll do a filing. And
Yeah, that's good.
so most of the time, that's how they happen. I meet them on site and then it goes no further. They fix the problem right away. But if I send one out from now on, I'll put it in the packet and that way they'll know.
Sounds good.
Other than that, I didn't have anything else.
Just have some signed documents. Anything else you want to talk about while we're doing
We're
that?
gonna talk about, alternate to the committee.
Oh, yes, I was gonna
did
say,
somebody?
I did send you out the information that Jason
Yep.
Winchell has resigned from the commission. He just has too many family commitments going on right now and works crazy. So we have 2 alternate seats on the commission. So I'll put that out there to the public, that if anybody's interested in serving, get in touch with the selectmen or the commission and come in and talk to us, and we'd love to fill the seats. But if commissioners know of somebody or
Yeah,
someone,
I know. I'm trying to get somebody, but
Why don't you just give a little spiel to the public now about what we do here on this commission?
oh, we could just say at the next one, we could just say, okay, this is what's going to happen. We can put it in the thing. Put it on the thing saying
right,
that we're
I'll
going to explain
put it on
what's
the
going
agenda and I'll do up a little blurb to go out
Okay.
with the
Yeah.
public notice that the meeting agenda. And I will tell people that
When we meet,
come in and
when we
sit
don't
for a
meet,
couple meetings with us and see what we
Yep.
do and ask questions. And
You could do it from home if
Yeah.
you had to. Or,
all our meetings are recorded, so
Yep.
they're all archived. If you want to go back and watch and see what we've done or how we've done it, that would be a great way to learn how we operate and what we do.
sounds good, yeah. Yeah.
I do have one more item to sign. And there are 2 DEP forms that I have ready for tonight, and the others we'll have for next meeting. And while you guys are signing that, I'll just put the blurb out that Riverwalk is June 2nd. And if anybody wants to come and walk along River Street, they've got a nonprofit booth set up. They'll have food vendors, they've got crafters, local farms. We'll have displays and stuff. We will have a conservation, agriculture, tree warden booth along Riverwalk with some interactive displays and things to do. So come
And
and
there's
walk,
lots of
bike, ride.
ducks now and geese.
No canoeing yet, but it'll happen. I think that's a good idea. I think we should probably try next year just to leave it in.
Just to see
Because it
if
will float up and down,
right.
and I don't think it's going to, as long as it's in there.
And I mean,
don't
after
think it's gonna
last
go anywhere.
summer's rains, that was probably the highest the river's, even this winter, been. It hasn't been any higher than it was last summer.
Well,
Yeah, and that's high.
I live right next to that place, and I would recommend leaving it in.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it will go anywhere.
And it's gonna take an awful lot of ice to do any damage to
And
it.
that river
It
flows.
Moves so much.
It's
that
not going to ice up.
Well, it hasn't iced up since I've been here.
And if it does,
I
it'll
mean,
just keep it in spot.
majorly.
It's not like it's going to break it or anything like that.
Right.
'Cause that's thick and heavy. So. But it'll get in.
I would say leave it
I
in.
don't know what the weather's going to be like next week, but I'll try next week since I'm going to be around. Hopefully it won't rain these next few days, and it's going to be hot and sunny.
Right, it would be nice to not get 2.5 to 3 inches of rain every week.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'll get it in. So, but all right. Anything else, Steve? You got anything to say or anything?
No.
Okay.
Can I,
All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, have a good night, Steve.